Hello students, so now we will be doing the third lecture of haloalkanes and haloarenes. In the last lecture we did about introduction, classification and nomenclature of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So we will be doing method of preparation of haloalkanes from alcohols, from hydrocarbon, by halogen exchange and by Hans-Diker reaction. Method of preparation of alkyl halides from alcohols. So basically in this method what happens, you replace OH group by halogen atom. So alcohols contain OH group and that is replaced by the halogen atom. So first we will do the reaction with haloacids. Haloacids are nothing else but hydrogen halides, HCl, HBr and HI. Now what will be the reactivity of these alcohol towards haloacids? So HI is reactivity is greater than HBr than HCl. Reason being, the bond length of HI is more, so the bond dissociation energy is less and it is reactive. While HBr, the bond length is less as compared to HI and the reactivity is also less. HCl, the bond length is still less and therefore the reactivity is still less. As you go from fluorine, bromine, bromine, iodine in the group, the atomic size increases. So more the atomic size, more will be the bond length with the atom it combines with. Now reactivity of halogen towards alcohol. Alcohols, 3-degree alcohols are more reactive than 2-degree than 1-degree. Why the 3-degree alcohols are more reactive? Because 3-degree alcohol contains 3 CH3 groups. So more plus I effect. Okay. So because of the more plus I effect, the cation formed is more stable. So 3-degree alcohols forms the tertiary butyl cation. Likewise, and 2-degree alcohol will form isopropyl cation. Likewise, and 1-degree alcohol will form ethyl cation. So if you compare the reactivity of these cations, the 3-degree alcohol forms tertiary butyl cation, which is more stable, then isopropyl cation, then is the ethyl cation. Therefore, the reactivity of 3-degree is more than 2-degree, then more than 1-degree. Okay. Now the reaction of alcohol with HX gives you RX plus water. So this is the basic reaction. Now let us see how you will prepare the alkyl chloride. So by the Groves process using Lucas reagent. What is Lucas reagent? Lucas reagent is the anhydrous zinc chloride and HCl. They are together known as Lucas reagent. So when Lucas reagent is added to alcohol, you get RCl plus H2O. This process is also called Groves process. So hydrogen chloride is used with zinc chloride for primary and secondary alcohol to form alkyl chloride. So basically what happens, zinc chloride is a Lewis acid. It coordinates with the alcohol and it weakens the RO bond. And the mixture of concentrated HCl and anhydrous chloride is together known as Lucas reagent, which I already told. Okay. So if you see separately the reaction with primary alcohol, secondary alcohol and tertiary alcohol. Primary alcohol when reacts with HCl in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, if ethyl alcohol reacts, then ethyl chloride is formed. Secondary alcohol, let's take isopropyl alcohol when it reacts with HCl in the presence of zinc chloride, you get isopropyl chloride plus water. And when tertiary alcohol reacts with HCl, you get tertiary butyl bromide chloride plus water. So tertiary butyl chloride plus water. So basically in this reaction, and here zinc chloride is not used because this tertiary butyl alcohol is very reactive. It reacts at the spot and HCl with HCl and it forms tertiary butyl chloride. So basically in these reactions what happens is if we take these 3 alcohols in the different 3 test tubes and add HCl to it, you will observe that as soon as you add HCl to it, tertiary butyl alcohol, immediately you get a white precipitate, a turbidity because of the immediate formation of tertiary butyl chloride. But for secondary alcohol, if you take isopropyl alcohol and add zinc chloride and HCl, you have to firstly add zinc chloride, then HCl both. And in this reaction, what happens? The reaction goes little slow. If you have to leave it for 5 minutes, then only the turbidity of isopropyl chloride is formed. But ethyl alcohol, when you add HCl, the reaction does not take place until you have to heat it, add anhydrous zinc chloride, and then only the reaction happens and you get the turbidity and water is given out. So all these reactions, water is given out, right? So This is called Lucas test to distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol. So when you add Lucas reagent in tertiary butyl alcohol, you get the turbidity immediately. Secondary alcohol, if you add tertiary this Lucas reagent, you get the turbidity after 5 minutes. And ethyl alcohol, when you add HCl and zinc chloride, you get the turbidity on heating. So that's how the reaction goes faster with tertiary alcohol than secondary alcohol, and finally with the primary alcohol. So this test, Lucas test, Group's process distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Now, if you react this with HBr, if you react alcohol with HBr, you get alkyl bromide. HBr does not exist in the lab, so you have to prepare it in situ. That is, you have to add NaBr, add concentrated sulfuric acid, heat it, and alcohol reacts with the HBr that is formed and forms alkyl bromide. Okay. Now, reaction with HI. So, when alcohol is reacted with HI also does not exist. You have to prepare it in situ in the reaction container. So, NaI, it is prepared by the reaction of NaI and phosphoric acid. NaI and phosphoric acid react to form HI, which reacts with alcohol to form alkyl iodide, right? So that is how alkyl iodide is formed. Then next reactions to form haloalkanes are by using phosphorus halides. So two kinds of halides can be used, PX3 and PCl5. PBr5 and PI5 do not exist. They are unstable, so only PCl5 exists. So when alcohol is reacted with phosphorus trihalide, you get alkyl halide and phosphorus acid. Clear? So the example is here given for ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol plus PCl3 plus heat, you get ethyl chloride plus phosphorus acid. Right? And when you react alcohol with PCl5 and heat it, you get alkyl chloride, SCl and POCl3, phosphorus oxytrichloride. Clear? So instead of PROH, if I take ethyl alcohol and react it with PCl5 and heat it, you get ethyl chloride plus SCl plus POCl3. Okay. Now your homework is write the reaction of isopropyl alcohol with PCl3 and PCl5. Clear? So with PX3, what you are getting? You are getting alkyl halide and phosphorus acid. But with PCl5, what you are getting? You are getting alkyl chloride, SCl and phosphorus oxytrichloride. Third reaction of alcohol is with SOCl2. SOCl2 is called thionyl chloride. So when you react alcohol with thionyl chloride heated, you get alkyl chloride plus sulfur dioxide plus HCl. Sulfur dioxide and HCl are gases, so they are removed, and what is left behind in the container is HCl. So this is one of the best method of preparation of alkyl chloride. So it reacts with primary alcohol and it gives you alkyl chloride, SO2 and HCl. So same reaction can be written with ethyl alcohol. When you write the reaction with ethyl alcohol plus SOCl2 thionyl chloride heated, you get ethyl chloride, HCl and SO2. So this is very important reaction and often asked in boards. So what is the action of thionyl chloride on isopropyl alcohol? This is your homework. You will write this reaction. Clear? Then preparation of haloalkanes from alcohols. So here I have given a summary. When you react alcohol with HCl in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride, the reaction is called Group's process and you get primary and secondary alkyl halide. Then when you react alcohol with HBr, you get alkyl bromide plus water. When it is reacted with HI, you get alkyl iodide plus water. When it is reacted with PX3, what do you get? You get alkyl halide plus phosphorus acid. When it is reacted with alcohol is reacted with PCl5, SCl and POCl3 is given out and you get alkyl chloride. Right? Then alcohol is treated with SOCl2. The process is known as Darzin's process. You reflux it, pyridine, in the presence of pyridine, SO2 and HCl are given out and alkyl halide is formed. So this is a summary of all the reactions that through which haloalkane is prepared from alcohols. Clear? Okay. Now let's see the halogenation of alkane. Second method of preparation of alkyl halides is halogenation of alkanes. So in halogenation what happens is one or more hydrogen of alkanes can be replaced by halogens. Okay. So when halogen, when it is replaced by chlorine, it is called chlorination. When it is replaced with bromine, it is called bromination. When it is replaced with iodine, it is called iodination. When it is replaced with fluorine, it is called fluorination. Okay. Now the order of the reactivity of fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Which is most reactive? Fluorine, then chlorine, then bromine, and then iodine. So fluorine reaction will happen very fast. Then second is chlorine reaction, then bromination, and then finally iodination. So iodination goes very slow. So reaction of alkanes with halogen gives you alkyl halide plus HX. Okay. So first one is preparation of alkyl chloride. So chlorination takes place in the presence of sunlight or at high temperature. So what happens in chlorination? Alkanes, when reacted with chlorine, in the presence of sunlight, alkyl chloride is formed and HCl is formed. So chlorination of methane gives a mixture of four products. This reaction we have studied in 11th standard also. So here you see the first reaction. When methane reacts with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, what is formed? One hydrogen gets replaced by one chlorine. So CH3Cl, that is methyl chloride, is formed and HCl is formed. Okay. Then when methyl chloride reacts with chlorine, what happens? One more H and Cl are removed and you get CH2Cl2. One more chlorine gets added. So methylene dichloride is formed. Okay. When methylene dichloride reacts with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, chloroform is formed. That means one H and one Cl are given out and one Cl is added here. So you get chloroform plus HCl. When chloroform further reacts with another molecule of chlorine, you get carbon tetrachloride and HCl. So basically what is happening here, the reaction is going on until all the hydrogens are replaced with chlorine. And you get the mixture of methyl chloride, methylene dichloride, chloroform and carbon tetrachloride. Okay. So this reaction takes place in the presence of sunlight. And once the reaction starts, it goes on until all hydrogens gets replaced with chlorine. Then next is mechanism of chlorination of alkanes. So in mechanism, basically in chlorination, what is happening? The free radical mechanism is happening here. What do you mean by free radical mechanism? It includes three steps: chain initiation, chain propagation, and chain termination. So basically what happens in chain initiation is, so when methane is reacted with chlorine in the presence of sunlight, then chlorine bond breaks homolytically, and this bond, which was formed by one pair of electron, one electron goes to each chlorine and chlorine free radicals are formed. So this is called homolytic fission because equal number of electrons are going to each one of the atom, and this presence happens in the presence of diffused sunlight. Now next step is chain propagation. The chlorine radical that was formed, free radical that is formed, attacks on the methane. And again the carbon hydrogen bonds cleaves homolytically and methyl free radical is generated, and this H reacts with chlorine free radical to form HCl. This methyl free radical reacts with another molecule of chlorine and chlorine breaks homolytically. This chlorine reacts with methyl to form methyl chloride and chlorine free radical is generated. So likewise, the step by step, the reaction goes on until all the hydrogens get replaced with chlorine. Hmm? The reaction third step here is chain termination. So in this what happens when the free radical, if they combine amongst themselves and they form the stable molecule, then the reaction stops. Like here you see chlorine free radical, if they combine to form chlorine gas, the reaction will stop. Or methyl free radical, if they combine, they will form ethane. And methyl free radical and chlorine free radical, if they combine, they form methyl chloride. So this presence of ethane confirms the final product formed in the mechanism. So sometimes they ask you to convert methane to ethane. You can use this reaction. So methane, what was happening? The methyl free radical was formed, and if these methyl free radicals they react amongst themselves, then ethane is formed. Clear? Now, next is preparation of alkyl bromide. So, alkanes, when they react with bromine in the presence of anhydrous, aluminum bromide, they form alkyl bromide and HBr. Okay, so this is also done at high temperature. Then here, as I told you, the reactivity of fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, if you compare, iodine is least reactive. So the reaction of iodine and alkane, iodine with alkane is very slow and it is reversible. So when they react, they form alkyl iodide plus HI, but the reaction is reversible. So this Ri and HI, they combine again to form alkane plus iodine. So to stop the reversibility, what you have to do, you have to add certain oxidizing agent. So here you see the ethane plus iodine, HiO3 is added. Iodic acid is added. So ethyl iodide and water is being formed. So when this HiO3 is added, the reaction goes in the forward direction. This HiO3 combines with the Hi that is formed in the product side, and this backward reaction is stopped. Then also instead of periodic acid, if you add HgO, mercuric oxide, then also the reversibility of the reaction will stop. Reaction will not be reversible, and ethane will combine with iodine in the presence of mercuric oxide. It will form ethyl iodide, mercuric iodide, and H2O. Yeah. Or if the reaction takes place in the presence of HNO3, HNO3 is added, then also the similar thing happens. 8C2H6, 4I2, HNO3 gives you 8C2H55 plus TH2 plus NH3. So basically the reaction is not now reversible. It goes only in the forward direction and ethyl iodide can be prepared. Because of the slow reactivity, low reactivity of iodine, the reaction goes very slow. So you require what? Oxidizing agents like periodic acid, HNO3 or HgO. Okay, so then from alkenes, how can you prepare? Alkenes, to prepare the uh, haloalkanes, you require to add hydrogen halides. Okay, and we have already studied about the reactivity of hydrogen halides. The most reactive halogen halide is Hi, then HBr, and then HCl, because the bond length of Hi is more, next HBr, and next HCl. So that is why the reactivity of hydrogen halide. And addition of hydrogen halide is an example of electrophilic addition reaction. So in this, what happens? CH2 double bond CH2 is reacted with HBr. Here one of the double bond breaks heterolytically. So electron pair goes to one of the carbon atoms. One carbon atom gets a plus charge, another gets a minus charge, and the one which gets plus charge to that, this unsymmetrical reagent also cleaves H plus and Br minus is formed. So H plus goes to the carbon atom that gets negative charge, and Br goes to the one which gets a positive charge. So basically CH3, CH2, Br, bromoethane is formed. So ethene gives you bromoethene. And what is the type of mechanism followed here? Electrophilic addition mechanism. So first H plus adds and then Br. So H plus is an electrophile. Okay. So here you see CH2 double bond CH2 and HBr comes here. This H plus, this cleaves one of the carbon gets positive charge, another gets negative charge. So H plus adds on the one which gets negative charge here like this, and carbocation is formed. So this carbocation in the step 2, Br minus gets added on the this carbocation. So basically HBr goes heterolytic bond fission. The H plus bonds with carbon atom of the C double bond C. This results in the formation of carbocation intermediate, and bromide ion forms a bond with the carbocation, and finally bromoethane is formed. So this is called electrophilic addition reaction. Okay. So this when unsymmetrical alkene is added on an unsymmetrical reagent, the negative part of the reagent gets attached to the carbon which carries less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is called Markovnikov's rule. So when unsymmetrical alkene means which alkene? The alkene which contains unequal number of carbon atoms across the double bond. So that means one side there will be two carbon atoms, one side there will be one carbon atom, or likewise. So if the unsymmetrical alkene is reacted with unsymmetrical reagents like HX. HX is an unsymmetrical reagent. Both the atoms are not same, they are different, so it is unsymmetrical reagent. The negative part, that is halogen, will go through the carbon which carries less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is called Markovnikov's rule. Okay. The same reaction, if it is done in the presence of peroxide, the reaction is done with HBr to unsymmetrical alkene, then what happens? The unsymmetrical alkene is added to HBr, the negative bromine goes to the carbon which carries more number of hydrogen atom. So this is anti-Markovnikov's rule. This is also called crash effect or peroxide effect. This happens only with HBr and not with HCl and HR. Okay. So addition reaction of HBr to the unsymmetrical alkenes. Now when unsymmetrical alkenes react with unsymmetrical reagent, the negative group goes to the carbon having less number of hydrogen atom. That is what is Markovnikov's rule. So what two things can be formed? Either H goes on this carbon and bromine goes on the next carbon. Then what will happen? One bromopropane will be formed. Or if Br goes on the second carbon and H goes on the third carbon, then 2 bromopropane will be formed. Now what is the possibility? Which will be formed? What the chances of whose formation is more? So for chances of formation of 2 bromopropane is more than 1 bromopropane. So why is this so? Just now we saw this in this reaction, what is happening? The heterolytic cleavage is happening of the this alkene, and one carbon gets a positive charge, another gets a negative charge. H plus adds to the carbon carrying negative charge. So this H plus adds. So according to the Markovnikov's rule, what happens? The negative group goes to the carbon having less number of hydrogen atoms. So the possibility of the formation is either you get a 1 bromopropane or 2 bromopropane. So basically first step, what is happening? The carbocation is formed. So which carbocation will be formed? In the first case, the propyl carbocation will be formed, and in this case 2 propyl carbocation will be formed. So which carbocation will be more stable? Isopropyl carbocation or N-propyl carbocation. So the carbocation which carries the secondary cation carbon atom is more stable. So that means this carbocation, isopropyl carbocation, will be more stable. So this chances of formation of 2 bromopropane is more than the 1 bromopropane. Okay. But if the same reaction takes place in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, then it follows the free radical mechanism, and then it goes the other way. The negative group goes to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atom. So CH3, CH2, CH2Br is formed. So 1 bromopropane is formed. Clear? Now if 2-methyl propanine is there and the HBr is added, then what will be formed? Then the formation is what? This HBr, when it is added, the negative group goes to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms. So negative group goes to this CH2 and H goes to the one which is having less number of hydrogen atom. So 1 bromo 2-methyl propane is formed. Clear? So when ethene is reacted with HCl, what is formed? Ethyl chloride. When propene is reacted with HBr, what happens? Markovnikov's rule is followed, and negative group goes to the carbon having less number of hydrogen atom across the double bond. So the chances of formation of 2 bromopropane is more because the isopropyl cation formed here, the electrophilic addition mechanism that we saw is more stable. Then propene, when it is reacted in the presence of peroxide, then negative group goes to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms. So the formation of chances of formation of minor and major. Which will be major? Here in this case 1 bromopropane will be major. Okay. So here we saw methane plus chlorine gives you what? The first reaction was CH3Cl plus HCl. Okay. Then second one is propene. When HCl is added in the absence of peroxide, what you will get? You will get 2 chloropropane. Okay. When HBr is added in the presence of peroxide, what you will get? Chances of formation of 1 bromopropane will be more because negative group goes to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atom across the double bond. Then when bromine is added to this propene, what will be formed in the presence of CCl4? There will be bromine will be added to the two carbon atoms, and what will be formed? Propylene dibromide, that vicinal dihalide will be formed. Clear? Okay. Thank you.